Welcome to the Goof and Goober Show, the podcast that brings you laughter, insight, and the quirkiest conversations. Join your hosts, Matthew and Regan, as they embark on a delightful journey through the realms of pop culture, humor, and everyday shenanigans. So, buckle up and get ready for a roller coaster of fun and entertainment. Let's dive into the world of laughs with Matthew and Regan on the Goof and the Goober Show.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I come to you today from a very different spot. For those of you guys listening on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, and not watching this on our YouTube channel or watching the live stream, you'll notice a very different background for me.
And the sound quality might be a lot worse.
And the sound quality might be a little bit worse. The camera quality, it's about the same because it's the same camera. But before we jump into the pod, we're brought today by my buddy, my good old pal, my compadre, my consigliere of many different things. Actually, I got taxes. I got my tax papers I need to send to you. So my accountant as well. Regan freaking Dvorak.
Oh, hey guys. It's good to see you guys. It's good to hear you guys. Good to be back on a Sunday night this time.
Regan, if you were to drown in any sort of liquid of your choice, what would it be? Like if you had the choice to.
I don't think I would. Any liquid would be horrible. I don't know. I mean, I guess I would choose Mountain Dew Voltage. You know, me, man. Okay. At least I'd go out tasting something that I love.
Gotcha.
If I had to drown.
If you were stuck in the Amazon and you had 3 items, what would you bring?
Amazon rainforest? Or the Amazon desert?
The rainforest.
Okay, the rainforest.
I don't think anybody refers to the Amazon as the desert, but yeah, we'll go with the rainforest.
Isn't there an Amazon? I swear there's the desert in there too.
I mean, we've got Google here. So Amazon desert. There's Amazon rainforest, the jungle. That's the first thing that pops up. Yeah. Nope. No desert.
I swear there's an Amazon desert. Well, anyways, I would probably bring a machete, some kindling, or whatever the stuff is to help you start a fire, and some rope.
Okay.
That's what I would bring. Maybe
Sick.
A crossbow.
A crossbow? Do you know how to use a crossbow?
Well, in what's its world? The gosh darn it, the
Pal World.
Pal World. I know it was. I was going to say Pole World or something. I was like, no, that doesn't sound right. In Pal World, I know how to build a crossbow. I'm pretty good at it, actually. So these last few days, I've been leveling myself up. I got some pretty good pals too.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, to not beat around the bush here, I'm in Texas. I'm not in my usual setup. Camera quality is going to be the same. Mic quality might be a little bit meh. And the background definitely isn't it, but that's okay. It's temporary.
Yep.
I want to tell you a little bit about a story that I'm living right now that was supposed to happen. And it starts with a man waking up at 3 a.m. 3 a.m. on a Sunday morning. Deadbeat, tired, forgot to charge his iPad, forgot to charge his iPhone, forgot to charge everything.
Yep.
And he had a flight in 3 hours. This man got ready, packed. He got children ready, and he went to the airport and left his wife and flew to Texas. That was me.
Man.
That was me. And so today has been a wonderful, weird journey. I have been up since 3 a.m. this morning. I feel tired. I took a little bit of a nap, like 40 minutes on the plane. That was about it. But the other thing is we had a journey. We had a thing that we were supposed to do.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Tomorrow is my brother's birthday. And the plan was that I was going to, context here. Me and my brother both work at the same company. Okay, we have an office here in Texas.
Right.
The plan was to get him into the office tomorrow for his birthday with the team. But I was going to surprise him by coming into the office after he got there as a surprise. And you know what? Let's just say that didn't happen. We freaking went to Gaddyland today. Me and my dad almost got into a fight with some guy because he was getting pissed off about a table. And yeah, this is the day I've had so far. Okay, so okay, let's take a step back here. Sorry, guys, I've overspoke. Let's take a step back here. So Gaddyland is like the Dave and Buster's of Minnesota, except it's a buffet, and the tables are first come first serve. Okay. So we go out. We go to the sports section. The sports section's got a bunch of projectors on there playing the Ravens KC game. Mm-hmm. And there was a table. It just had a couple plates, had a drink on the table, and there was nobody there. We had circled the place, and we were like, oh, this just must be – what happens is at this place is people eat, and they just leave their crap on the table and go.
Okay.
And so we go to pick up this stuff, and the guy's like, what the F are you doing with my plate and my drink? And we're like, what? We're like, sorry. We're like, there was nobody here. You've never been to Gaddyland? And he was like, that's my effing thing, and blah, 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 blah. And my dad
wanted to fight.
My dad's kind of a hothead, so he like walked off and was like, he grabbed him a plate and sarcastically was like, okay, here's your freaking plate, and hands him the plate. And then the guy was just being a dick, and I was like, dude, just take a freaking chill pill. And he's like this 5'7", 150-pound kid. Yeah, just like a little kid. But, I mean, he was an adult, but...
Yeah.
And I was like, dude, just freaking take a chill pill. Breathe for a second. It's really not that big of a deal.
I'm picturing a white male with this beard, like scruffy beard.
Yep.
And
tattoos.
Oh, he's got
everywhere.
Tattoos. Oh,
he's got tattoos on his arms,
scrawny,
on his neck.
Does he look like he does like meth? Or maybe cocaine?
Does. Now that's a tough subject. I don't know, because some people who use meth look different than other people who use meth and cocaine.
Yeah.
He definitely does drugs. Let's just say that.
Okay. He looks like he does drugs.
So that's not even the most funny part of the situation. He gets pissed off that we're cleaning off the table, and the worker was like, guys, I'm sorry. He's been doing this all day. Let me go clean you off a table. The guy got us a table, like a really nice spot. And we all go grab our food. We eat 10, 15 minutes later. We don't even notice the guy. But the guy hadn't even sat down in 15 minutes at the buffet. He had just stood at the table. Here's the table. He's standing at the edge of the table, on the corner of the table, not even sitting down to eat.
Just waiting for somebody else.
Not even sitting down to eat.
Just waiting for somebody else to get pissed off. He's just waiting for us to.
Yeah, exactly. So that way he has a reason to get mad. But no, it was funny because it was just like it got really heated there, and I think he just looked at me and my dad and was just like, "Whoops, maybe not the two guys I should get mad at." And he just stood over there like a little puppy dog, like a chihuahua. So
walk right over you.
That was my day. Come to find, my brother found out that I was here. It was supposed to be a surprise. I was going to be here tomorrow.
How did he find out?
They invited him to Gaddyland.
Don't your family
invited
know
him.
that you were? That's why you were here. You're coming to surprise them.
Yeah, well, it's my
Oh,
family.
dude.
It's okay.
I gotta show you what I got. My
What do you
wife
gotta
got one of
find?
these. It's not a fine, I guess. I mean, I got it off Amazon, so it was like brand spanking new. So, but
Ooh.
I freaking love it. I think it's the coolest thing ever, and it's for my phone. Okay.
Oh, okay.
So,
Let's see it.
this is it. Okay.
What is that?
See it? Okay.
Yeah?
Check this out. Here's my phone,
Uh-huh.
and it charges my phone. So it's like an extra battery for my phone. It's just right there, and I'm holding it straight from this thing. I've been using it, and then I can also check this out. Use it as a freaking stand, baby.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Now, quick question. If
Okay.
it unmagnetizes to your phone and it drops, is there a warranty or do you get anything with that?
Well, it's because it's the Apple thing, like the charging thing, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So, I don't think so. What do you mean if it magnet?
So, like, let's magnets, they can stop working at some point, right?
Yeah.
Hold up 1 second. My wife just commented on our Facebook page or on our Facebook. You make it sound like you left me. You're just visiting down there, to be clear. Does it? Oh, okay. So let me rephrase. I didn't leave my wife. I love my wife. I love my wife. Nope, I didn't leave her. I'm just going down to visit.
Second question, Kaylee is asking, does it work with phone cases? It does work with, I don't have a phone case, but my wife does. And yes, it does work with hers. Depending, because I guess it also depends on how thick your case is. Because it's, however, you know, you can see the circle. You see it? Yeah, you can see it. You have to glare.
Oh, yeah.
But, I guess it's all depending on how thin or thick your. I guess it's more of how thick your case is.
I just got your.
It works
Facebook
with my
message.
wife's.
What?
Yeah, dude.
That's crazy. Sorry.
Yeah.
We can't. I don't know if we could talk about that, but
probably not.
That's crazy.
Anyways, yeah. It's a girl, by the way.
Nice. Sick.
But yeah, right.
All right,
well,
ladies
he
and gentlemen.
Seemed very happy about it.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we're gonna jump into this. Regan and I are gonna play some Power World after the stream for a little bit, potentially.
Yep.
So stick around for afterwards as well. Today, we are jumping into the TV series that has been shocking the world. I'm just kidding. It hasn't been really shocking the world, but we're going to go over the TV series Echo. It came out a couple weeks ago on Disney Plus. To talk a little bit about this here, let me just pull up a little bit of the synopsis. It came out in 2024. It's streaming exclusively on Disney Plus. The overview here is that the origin story of Echo revisits Maya Lopez, whose ruthless behavior in New York City catches up with her in her hometown. She must face her past, reconnect with her Native American roots, and embrace the meaning of family, community if she ever hopes to move forward. The directors, Sidney Freeland and Katrina McKenzie. It aired January 9th, 2024. I think it came out with all 5 episodes, so you guys can binge watch it all. It's all done. Executive producers Kevin Feige, Louis Despacito, Victoria Alonso, Brad Winderbaum, Steven Broussard, Richie Palmer, and the rest, who cares really? Cast Alakwa Cox, Chasky Spencer, Tantu Cardinal, Devery Jacobs, Cody Lightning, Graham Greene, and Zahn McLarnon. Zach McLarnon. That was the worst synopsis I have done in a long time.
You can tell you were just reading right off of IMDb.
I was just reading right off of actually Marvel.com.
All right.
Here, I'll just send it to you. Actually, we should start using this. Might actually help. Here, let me send it. Let's send it in our chat. But ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, if you haven't seen the show, we're not going to do a non-spoiler for a couple of different reasons. We're going to jump in. If you haven't seen it, this is going to be our spoiler warning. Go back, check it out, and come back and listen.
Hey there, Goof and Goober fans. Before we dive into the episode, we want to give you a heads up. Spoilers ahead. This message is equipped with our official Goof and Goober Show rating system, so you know just what you're getting into. Come on, follow along. A 5-star, a must-watch. Prepare for a roller coaster of emotions, jaw-dropping twists, and laughs that will leave your sides aching. These are game changers. Then we have a 4-star. This is entertaining. While not quite a life-altering experience, these movies and TV shows are popcorn recommended. 3 stars, average and not groundbreaking. A decent movie or episode that will still deliver the goods. It's worth a watch for dedicated fans. 2 stars, room for improvement. These movies or TV shows have their moments but fall short of our standard. And of course, 1 star, proceed with caution, buckle up. These are trash. Well, now that you know our rating system, let's jump in. Wow.
Our freaking spoiler warnings work today.
That's great.
And our intro and hopefully our outro, let's knock on wood here because I don't have wood.
I knocked on wood.
Okay, I'll knock on a different wood. But ladies and gentlemen, that is our spoiler warning. Again, if you haven't seen it, go check it out before we talk about it. First things first, we're going to talk about the meaning or the true. Let's talk about the true issue of this TV show. And I'm just going to jump straight into it. The true issue with this TV show is this TV show is just everywhere. This TV show is everywhere. There's not really a rhyme or reason or like a steady flow. I don't even know how to explain it. But for me, this TV show really just kind of said, you know what? Here's a character that in concept is really, really cool. Here's multiple different storylines. Here's multiple different things, and Merry Christmas, right? Like you get another character for the MCU. And so, and the reason why we didn't do like a pre-spoiler warning or a pre-review, because there's not really much to talk about this TV show, but there is a lot to talk about for the future of the MCU. So I wanted to throw it to Regan. Regan, give us your overview. Give us your thoughts on Echo. Give us your rating. And what do you expect moving forward with Marvel?
So with this, I'm going to start out with my rating. You're good. I give this a 3.2. It's exactly what you said. It's sporadic. There's not a whole lot of consistency here. I mean, it's only 5 episodes, so they got to fit a lot of things into this with bringing in a whole new character pretty much. If you weren't watching like Daredevil or Hawkeye, or any of that, you probably never heard. I didn't watch Hawkeye. I didn't watch I have watched Daredevil. But there's only one scene.
Shame on you. You need to go back and watch Hawkeye at least. But that's all I have to say there.
But I did my research on who this Echo girl is because I never heard of her. And I was like, okay, tell me a little bit about her, and what her powers really are. And upon doing that research, after watching the series, I think they butched. The only thing they really got right was that she was Native American and deaf. The what do you call it? The leg thing? What do you call it? I can't think of the
prosthetic leg.
Prosthetic leg. There you go. That wasn't in the comics, so that's a whole new thing they did, which is fine. They can do that.
Sure.
I'm not saying they can't. But her powers really in this thing was from the Native American tribe, which was this whole thing. And that was like her power, which I didn't even know really what that did. And so like that's why it's so, maybe I should lower it, because you really didn't understand who she was and what these powers were. It was just like, oh, it gives you strength in your weakest or when it counts. But that's not who Echo was. Echo was a basically like taskmaster, where she could perfectly copy her previous, like anybody's movement. By just watching, she became a concert level pianist. I'm just reading this right off. A strong martial artist, a highly skilled acrobat, and even a gifted ballerina. And just by watching, yeah, you never saw any of that. And she gained Daredevil's acrobatic abilities and then Bullseye's uncanny aim by just watching a video of them fight. Like, and she was able to do that, and that would have been, I don't know, to me, that would have been better than whatever she was doing. Because in this TV series, you really just look at her as like, oh, she's just good at fighting, but you think she's good at fighting because she grew up fighting, and that's why she was good at fighting. And I just didn't really show who this character really was in Marvel. I don't think, I mean, yeah, you can change a few things. The prosthetic leg, you can change that. You can change maybe the character a little bit. But like the abilities, the powers, I don't think you're completely changing, basically making a whole new character now. And just slapping Marvel's name on it. So I was that?
I guess I can see. So this is my dilemma is I think of Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse then. And I think of the multiple different types of Spider-Man with different types of powers, but essentially they're all the same. So like they could make the argument like, hey, this is a different universe than the one that was previous. But like, I agree with you, but I'm saying is that that's an easy out for Marvel, right? To say, oh, well, this is just not that one. This isn't that specific. That specific.
Like her.
Hi. We get our freaking Scarlet Sesh every time.
Yeah, every
time.
Every episode.
Yeah, she's got a drippy nose.
But to go with your point, it's like you said, Spider-Man. It's different, but same throughout the universe. Pretty much, he can climb on walls and shoot webs. Pretty much, and all of those.
Right.
This one is her main powers is like photographic reflexes. And they didn't show that at all. They showed this whole thing, whatever this was. What did they even call that? Did they even have a name?
That was the healing thing. That was from her mom. That was like the healing thing that she did.
She did like, okay, so then at the end, I guess I didn't understand what happened with Kingpin. That she healed him, but I don't know about that.
Yeah, look. And maybe I don't know the power set enough. We'll talk about the end of it. We'll talk about the end because I think the end obviously has some importance for the moving forward of the MCU. But to give context, right? Because everybody who's watching at this point has seen it, right? But we get the context that she's essentially tied to these like mystical native people that have like special powers, I guess, at one point. And they were the first humans. Is that what? And that was unclear to me. That was really unclear to me. Were they the first humans? Why were they so significant? Obviously, they broke through And they were the first Choctaw, I think is what they were, Choctaw Indians. But yeah, it's really hard to kind of nail down because there's just so many different things. Throughout this TV show, we get 5 episodes, and 5 episodes all have different backgrounds or meanings to Maya, our main character, as to what she's feeling, what she's having to deal with. So, like, for an example, one episode they were talking about how she needed to be more strategic. So at the beginning of the show, they gave context to some game that they used to play back in the day to accept people into their land or something. And then that had meaning to it. But my thing is like, how do I say this? Because and I had a fear when I was listening to this that it would sound kind of racist if I even got close, because it was just like I have to be careful because I don't know. Like, I don't know. But it's just like, for me, I just felt like very weirded out with the certain situations that they're putting themselves into and saying, essentially, this is what Maya's dealing with and the ancestors had to deal with. Now she has to deal with it all on her own at the end. And it was just, I don't know. It's really hard to comprehend, because at the end, Maya talks to the grandmother and's like essentially what's going on, and the grandmother was like, they all flow through you. All flow through you.
Wait, and everyone got like these powers, and all the women are
exactly. Yeah.
Just like,
and then all of a sudden they have powers, which I don't know. I don't know.
Like
I feel like
it's
I can't tell if this is an origin story or not, because
they're calling it an origin story. I mean, basically, you're getting the whole background from the beginning of who she is, and then you learn about her father, and then people before her, like the origins or her ancestors, and then her great grandma who could speak to those ancestors. I don't know.
Let's go back to the photographic memory for a second, because I have something I want to talk about. You talked about how she had the photographic memory that she could memorize whatever and she memorized Daredevil's. Yeah, yep. She can memorize Daredevil stuff. I always thought about that. I was like, this young girl who does MMA is keeping up with Daredevil? Are you kidding me?
She never even watched
it. Had they had context to that, I wouldn't have been like, what the frick is this?
No context in a lot of these things, and it's just like, and these, I mean, I think they should have made these episodes longer, because each one was like
easily gotten to 10 episodes here.
Yeah, or just go for 10 episodes, right? It's just like they could have done a lot better with this, and I think the character is sweet. I think I love the idea, and bringing in this type of character and this world. Somebody that kind of no one's ever heard of, but doing a really well job. And, but they just kind of did a really bad job with it. I will have to say though, I want to give props to Alaqua Cox, however you pronounce that. The girl that plays
Alaqua Cox.
The lady who plays Echo. Yeah, this is like her first ever like TV series, or not even like actual.
This is like her first thing, right?
Yeah, like she was in a couple of episodes of Hawkeye, as well as Daredevil, I believe.
Mm-hmm. No,
I don't think it's just Hawkeye.
Just Hawkeye.
Yeah.
Wow.
And I got to see that. But yeah, it just like, she's actually deaf, so this really kind of was like right up her alley. The prosthetic leg thing is just a new thing that, I mean, she just already was born with it, or I don't know. From what I read, she wasn't born with it.
a
Nobody knows.
Leg?
No.
That must have hurt coming out.
Oh!
Just push it out, babe. You know what this feels like? Feels like plastic. Sorry,
but
that wasn't funny. Sorry, guys.
But I think she did a great job. I think she did great. There wasn't really, her acting skills really was spot on.
There were some parts,
the choreography, yeah. Well, it's kind of hard.
It's tough
when you don't have a voice. Not hard, I'd say it might be a little bit easier. Than
I think some facial expressions really got me, but I mean,
yeah, and that's probably the.
I personally think that was one of the cooler parts of the show, was that the fact that pretty much all of it was in sign language, or at least they were signing as they were talking, so like you could hear it and kind of see it. I thought that was cool. I thought it slowed down a lot of the monologue, though, or the dialogue.
Right. Because you really have to allow the viewer to read it and then listen. They're not listening to it, so they really have to read it and then take it in. I did like though what they did with Kingpin, and I feel like they should have done this from the get-go. With
instead of waiting,
contacting. Yeah, instead of waiting, because I was like,
you get a part of an episode with it.
Yeah, it was like at the very last, like the second to last episode, that they decided, okay, now we're gonna give her these contacts that she'll be able to now communicate with.
Don't know.
Yeah. Well, you have to have like the earpiece thingy.
Sure.
But yeah, it's just like, I feel like they should have done that from like the get-go with Kingpin, instead of having the translator and then at the very end killing her. It just, I don't know, just weird. Just
for as
weird
much
to me.
As this show, speaking of so this show, by the way, it is advertised as a TVMA, so mature audience.
Right.
To be honest with you, it really wasn't that. It really wasn't that bad of a show in terms of gore or graphics or anything like that. So I was expecting more. We got it out of the first and second, roughly, and a couple here and there, but just sparks and pieces of it. What I really would hope for, what I was really hoping that this show would do is, and I guess this is why I brought this up earlier, is I wanted to see what her impact has done to the MCU and why she is an important figure, other than the fact that she's tied to Kingpin, right? And she's killed a bunch of people, right? Other than that, like that's where Loki, we got the whole thing, right? We understand what his purpose was, why he was doing it, and then we came to a conclusion where it kind of left it open, right, for interpretation, and that's okay, right? But they took us through the whole cycle of giving us the proper information to create the right context clues to come up with some sort of conclusion at the end. This one was just kind of like, well, she went back home, at home they were tied to Kingpin and Kingpin's tied to them, and then she just somehow blows up this thing, and just random events. But like, what really did that do? Like, what did that do to move the MCU forward? Because from my understanding, Marvel wants to take Daredevil, Spider-Man, Hawkeye, or all of the street level Avengers, right? Not the Thors, not the Captain Marvels, not the Doctor Stranges, and do like a street level MCU type of series vibe thing. But this show, other than at the end, we find out that Kingpin in the cutscene, he's listening to the news, and they're like, "We're looking for a mayor, but people want someone who's a fighter. someone who could just beat people down. We somehow can't find a person, but we know they're out there. And we're like, this is the dumb. Like, to me, that was the dumbest thing I had. Like, you're clearly setting up Kingpin to try to run for mayor, right? But like, where does Maya fit into this? Where does she fit into this after this show?
Are they planning? I guess, yeah, you're right. Because where does she go from here? There's nothing that really at all for her. They didn't really set anything up for her. This was more about Kingpin. I mean, you can look on the cover, and the cover is, her on a motorcycle, but in the background, like in the overlay, the shadow, I guess you could say, is Kingpin.
Yeah.
So I think maybe this was more about Kingpin than Echo. Which could you say that? Because are they trying? Maybe they're trying to set up Kingpin for a Avenger type. Nah, not an Avenger type
straight
thing,
level
but
Avenger
maybe
type film. Maybe.
Yeah.
I could see it. Now that you bring it up, I could see it because I know they're trying to tie in Daredevil, Echo, Spider-Man, street level stuff.
Hawkeye.
We already know that.
Yeah.
Hawkeye, or not Hawkeye, but what's her name? Kate Bishop.
Oh,
right.
Yeah.
They're trying to tie in all the people who aren't quite Avenger level. So you're right. That could be what they're doing, but I don't think they. And maybe this is just good storytelling. Is that they didn't make it very clear, I guess, on what they're doing from the character standpoint of the hero, right? Or the hero,
Right.
because I mean that's all. When I go watch these movies, I'm like, okay, well, what happened? What does Spider-Man do next? Right?
Mm.
What does Loki do next? What does all these characters? What is their next thing? Like, what are they tied to moving forward? And I guess if that's the only thing that they're giving us, that might be it. But what could he be doing so bad that it would need Spider-Man, Echo, Daredevil to fix? Like, what could he possibly be doing other than running like an underground drug killing murder cartel? Yeah, like they already have those.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting. I think they have a plan, and I don't think they did this and made it, bringing in all these characters with Kingpin, with Echo, and then they're tying her in with Daredevil, Hawkeye. I don't know about Spider-Man. That'd be interesting to see if Spider-Man, but I think that yes, they're trying to tie it all into something big, into something, the next big thing to say. But I don't know what that could be, because it's just
Could we at least agree that Spider-Man is not a street level Avenger, right? Like he is a world level Avenger. Like
he almost was an Avenger, yes, per se.
He is.
But I think from the TV series that I've watched, they've tried to make looks like 49ers won. Sorry.
No.
Yeah.
How much time?
47 seconds. Fourth quarter. And 3rd and 6. Wait, never mind. I thought looks like they might just be kneeling it. No. The Lions used all their timeouts.
So that's going to get to 6 seconds?
Wait, are they going to... Looks like they're running a play.
Oh, no. They might be trying to run out the 6 seconds.
Oh, there's plenty. Yeah.
Sorry, guys. We're obviously big football fans.
They won.
So Announcement: Super Bowl 60. I don't know what Super Bowl it is. 68, 7, 5, 63.
One of those.
Super Bowl 2024 is Super Bowl LV3. I don't know what that is. I don't know numerals.
53?
58?
LV.
Super Bowl
58.
Yeah, Super Bowl 58. Kansas City Chiefs versus the San Francisco 49ers. We'll probably be talking a little bit about that, I'm sure. So we talk about Echo, right? I didn't give my rating yet. And the reason why I didn't give my rating just yet, I'm tossed up. Because there's points in this show that I was like, I really appreciate and I really like. And then there's parts of this TV show that I was like, ugh. Like, why? Like, this doesn't make sense. Why is this happening? So I got to cut it somewhat in the middle. I'm going to 3-0 out of 5. Okay. It's in okay. So for the viewers, if you haven't watched it and you're basing it off of our review systems, there's a lot of stuff that needs to happen. There's some things that, it's quite enjoyable. If you're a Marvel fan, go watch it. It's not like the end of the world. It's not like, Secret Invasion where it was like really good for 2 episodes and then it went or freaking She-Hulk where it was just horrible the entire time. I would say check it out. Moving forward into the MCU, because I want to talk about some future stuff. One in particular being Secret Wars. On my flight to Texas, I was thinking about this. Out of the core characters that are in Secret Wars, Iron Man is one of them. So, for me, I think it would be a heartbreak if anybody who's read Secret Wars doesn't get Iron Man. Captain America is also a big character in Secret Wars. That would be a heartbreak if you didn't get Captain America in Secret Wars. Also, Spider-Man. Yeah, Spider-Man is in Secret Wars. Pretty dang sure. I'm pretty sure. I'm trying to think of I'm pretty sure one of the comics has the Black Spider-Man.
Oh, Secret War. Yeah, I got the Secret Wars right here. These are all the people they have.
Okay. So, and we have Wolverine. Now, if I'm not mistaken, Secret Wars is supposed to happen after Fantastic Four. Or before, excuse me. It's supposed to happen before Fantastic Four. Now, I'm gonna figure this out myself. Because I'm gonna look it up here in just a second. But let me just do that before here. Marvel, Secret, because I want to make sure I'm not, because I thought about this. 2027. Marvel, Fantastic Four, 2025. Okay. So my theory was right. Okay, it comes out afterwards. Hear me out. Freaking Mr. Fantastic can pull an Iron Man from any multiverse. He can do that. He can create a machine to do that. He can go to many different places in multiverses.
Mr. Fantastic.
Do you think that he ends up pulling Captain America? Do you think he pulls Iron Man? Or do you think that they just don't include them in Secret Wars? I thought about that. I was just telling myself, I would be heartbroken if they didn't have Iron Man and Captain America in Secret Wars. Or, in our case, Peter Parker. Nobody knows who Spider-Man is in that universe.
I think they'll pull probably. It's not going to be the
my real
Robert
question
Downey.
is how would you do it? That was the real question.
I think it's going to be a different kind of variant of the Tony Stark that we know.
You think it's going to be RDJ?
No, I don't think RBJ is going to do it.
Oh.
He already did his time, and I think he's done.
Chris Evans?
I could be wrong, but Chris Evans would probably come back. With Captain America, but I don't think they're gonna bring back RBJ for. Well, I don't think RBJ is going to want to do it because he has left a legacy, and there's no need for him to come back anymore. He's left his legacy, and everyone loves him. I think it would be not a smart move for him, as he's
you think
already.
It would do the reverse of
yes, I think so.
Okay.
Because then, what if it's not as good as it used to be? It's a one-of-a-kind thing that really happened. Yeah, it's not a
Loki dies, come back, dies, come back, dies, come back, and it just doesn't.
It's a one-of-a-kind. What happened with Avengers Endgame and that whole, the phase 4 down, that was a legacy, and it was one of a kind. Nothing else ever going to be like it. What will need to happen, most likely, for Robert Downey Jr. to come back as Iron Man, they'll need something that's going to start a new legacy. That's going to be reinventing the whole superhero movie genre, I guess.
Sure.
Because
without destroying what they've built.
Right, because they've already they worked so hard, basically right off the back of Robert Downey Jr. And now they're trying to find somebody to work off the back of, and there's not going to be anybody really. I guess.
I think Tom Holland's the only one.
Right.
Tom Hiddleston too, I guess. Loki.
Right, and those two for sure could do it. Tom Hiddleston. It could be Tom Holland. Jeez, why are those names so similar? Jeez, what are they? That's ridiculous. Tom Holland and Tom Hiddleston. Tom Holland, I think, is going to be the guy. I think that's probably who they're going to try to do it, but they're not really doing a good job at that right now. With all these series that they're having, with all these different variants, different segments, different TV series, mini series, whatever, that they're trying to get in there, or as well as the Marvels, those types of movies, Quantumania. They're not doing a good job right now. But I shouldn't, I guess, say that it's over, because I believe Tom Holland's gonna. I mean, he's the Spider-Man, and he's killing it. So they need to build it off of Tom Holland, not really anyone else right now. Tom Holland needs to be it. He needs to be the poster boy of the Marvel right now. Unless they can find somebody else that can do that. Maybe Mr. Fantastic, or Captain Fantastic,
Pascal,
or whatever.
Captain Fantastic. Is that what you said?
I don't know who it is.
Captain Fantastic.
You said something like. What did you say?
Mr. Fantastic.
Oh, Mr. Fantastic. Okay, I thought you said something else.
We gotta get Regan. Look, when I get back, I'll give you all of the finished Fantastic Fours that I've read, and you can take a look.
Thanks.
Get familiarized with old Reed Richards.
Thanks.
A little bit, but so my thing is I, now that you kind of throw your point out there, I kind of agree in the fact that if they do bring him back, the reason why I bring up the Loki thing is when he died the first time, we were like, oh my gosh, Loki died. And then he came back, and then we were like, wait, what? And we were cool with it for a little bit, and then he died again, and then he came back. And we were just like, it was just kind of a repeat of things like, you know, we can't really trust Marvel. It's just kind of a cheeky way to get, I mean, it's going to pack a theater, obviously, if they say, hey, RDJ's coming back. Will people buy tickets? Yes, but will it do it justice for the story moving forward? I don't know, right? Like, and that's the fear of it. Moving forward, right? Like, is we have to think about the future. Moving forward, we got Madden Web. Now we don't know what that ties into with the MCU moving forward, since it's still I think it's a Sony product still. So we don't know how that's going to play, right? We got Fantastic Four coming out next year. And I don't think there's any other Marvel movies that are coming out this year, if I'm not mistaken. Coming out in 2024. Other than Deadpool. I think that's it.
Craven's coming out, I thought.
That's a Sony product. So the only other one is Deadpool 3.
Thunderbolts? That's 2025.
Thunderbolts is a TV. Yeah, that's 2025. So we're thinking, like, for us, to be honest with you, and this kind of puts a little bit of a, not fear into it, but it's just like, man, we have to wait a whole year. But like, we only get a couple properties out of Marvel this year. Mm-hmm. That's it.
But only one. I don't think. I mean, maybe Deadpool is where they bring in, you know, the X-Men and into this.
They are.
For. I mean, hopefully, we'll see.
Well,
I don't
Wolverine's
know what they're gonna do. Yeah, but I mean, they've already had the X-Men in Deadpool before. But Deadpool now will have to. Deadpool will need to. Well, because the Marvels, we saw what's her face find Professor X,
Beast,
and the Beast. Yep. But so it looks like those are merging together here, which would set up Secret Wars, because that's where a lot of we get
Wolverine. Yeah, that's true.
And all of them, and so. That brings up another good point, is that they could maybe build off the back of Deadpool or Wolverine.
I would give my left pinky toe for it to be on the back of Ryan Reynolds.
I don't think Ryan would want that.
Oh my gosh, but he would be so good.
He would. But
but the problem is it wouldn't be MCU. It'd be all
and they
comedies.
Would all be rated R's.
And rated R's.
So so not everyone would watch it. Obviously, I mean, I guess who is their main fan base for Marvel? Is it kids, teenagers? I don't know.
I think it's got to be teenagers up. People our age, probably.
Right. So I mean, they could do it rated R. I don't know.
Maybe 18 to 18. But yeah, I mean, rated R would, you could fit that in if they're 18 and above. Because I mean, this has got to be people who have been in it. You know, like they have seen everything from the beginning. Iron Man, Hulk, everything, Captain America, Thor,
right?
All of the beginning. So that's kind of, I think, where their audience are. They could. I think it. Now that you're thinking about it, it's coming into my brain. Horrible idea. I'm an idiot. Why did I even think about that? This would not make a serious Marvel series at all. Like all of the weight of seeing Iron Man die, like we wouldn't have had that. There would have been a comical joke after he died or something. With Deadpool
yeah. Dude, so my wife and I are currently on a binge of movies of the Marvel series, the MCU series, cinematic universe, whatever you want to call it. Mm-hmm. And we watched Age of Ultron, and it's a great, it's also like one of the probably underrated movies of the Avengers for them.
Yeah.
But great movie, first off. But there's so much in there that kind of makes you like, man, Tony has been just petrified and just it's killing him inside, knowing that the Earth is going to like die, and it comes down to him because like Scarlet Witch does her little mind thing, and like you see basically all the Avengers dead in like Thanos's throne, whatever, and then everyone like attacking Earth, and it makes the whole end game so much better because you're like, Tony, this is what he's been dealing with since he fell out of the black hole thing. That he has been
in my mind, implanted in my brain.
Oh no!
He says that in Endgame. I said we needed to build a pseudo wall around the Earth.
Right. Yeah.
You said you'd be there, Cap, and you weren't. Look at us now.
It's just, just amazing that they did that, and like that's what I'm saying is like Robert Downey Jr. I don't think he would want to come back because he did such an incredible job there, and he's already made his legacy. He's already made his footprint, whatever you want to say it, however you want to say it. It wouldn't be a smart choice for him because he's already left his legacy, and people will remember him for that. And people don't want to remember some guy who tried to come back and redo it, or not necessarily redo it, but try to do another legacy kind of from whatever. So
there were theories that have you seen Iron Man 3 yet?
Yep.
In your little okay. So in Iron Man 3 they have the kid that helped him. There's a theory that he will be the next Iron Man.
Yeah, and he was shown at the funeral in Endgames, I believe. And I've heard that, so that's definitely a plausible theory, as well as the Ironheart, which horrible.
Oh, don't even get me started. I forgot about her.
Yeah, dude. What was that? A movie? No, that wasn't a movie.
That was a movie. Black Panther.
Oh, it was Black Panther. That's right.
Which Black Panther was the bad movie?
God. No. Well, the first one or the second one?
Second one. It was average.
Sorry.
It was like a 3.5.
I can only think of the Power Ranger girl, and then
Well, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, Regan and I could go on hours talking about the future of Marvel, and we do this all the time where we freaking go down these bunny trails, but today's episode was supposed to be about Echo. We got through it. 3-2, you said? Or 3-3?
For episode number?
Echo?
Oh,
3.3. 3-2. I said a 3-0, so it's somewhere like a 3-1. It's if you are a Marvel fan, go check it out. If you're not a Marvel fan, you probably won't like it anyway. But go check it out. You'll be able to see all of our podcast stuff in the Spotify, Apple Podcasts. You'll be able to see it pretty much anywhere you guys stream your podcasts. Follow us on Instagram. Follow us on Facebook, Twitch, YouTube. Check out the daily stuff. Or check out the new stuff that we got coming out here. We are almost at 100 followers on Instagram. 1 year potentially for 100. Wait, that is. I know. Based off of the look, I know you're about to go check.
I am.
We're getting close. We're getting really close. We're at 89. We have lost a follower.
I thought we had 90. Well, no. Last time we were at 89, and whatever.
And now we're at 89. Mom, go follow go follow the Instagram page.
Please,
Julie,
Mom.
Please, Mom. Follow it. Ladies and gentlemen, follow it. I've got a bunch of stuff at my house that we've got stowed away. Every time I go to the store, I always find these freaking sweet collectibles that I'd love to give away. Regan, show him my Christmas present that I got you. I found this bad boy for like $12 on the clearance aisle. Freaking Blue Beetle statue. This thing is sweet for $12. Like, I've got a bunch of stuff stashed away, ready to give out to people. So, like, freaking follow. And if you aren't following, it takes 2 seconds.
Really?
But
that's all it does.
Yeah, it really does take 2 seconds. And for us, we don't get paid to do this, so this is all coming out of our cash show pockets. We
It's
pretty
free
much,
money, basically.
we fund all of our movies. We fund all of our everything, pretty much. So hit us with a follow. Ladies and gentlemen, it's been really good. I will be back in my office, back in the studio next Monday at my home, assuming that nothing happens with the airport or airplanes or delays or something. I don't know, but I should be back. Regan, any last thoughts, concerns, quotes, comments?
Love you guys. Thanks for listening. That's it.
And if you guys get the salsa verde salsa, don't like take a huge amount. It's really hot.
Yeah,
we're gonna cue the outro in 3, 2.
Peace.
And that's a wrap on another hilarious and unforgettable episode of the Goof and Goober Show. We hope you had as much fun listening as we did recording. If you enjoyed the show, don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you never miss out on our future goofiness. Join us next time as we continue to explore the weird and wonderful world of laughter and entertainment. Remember, you can always connect with us on social media and share your favorite moments using hashtag Goof and Goober Show. Until next time, stay goofy, stay goober, and keep spreading smiles wherever you go. Thanks for tuning in to the Goof and Goober Show with Matthew and Regan.